Hi, it's Vegan Gaz here, and as you know, I've been pretty shaken up by what's happening with global warming, and I wanted to talk today about a couple of things that we can do, and I've just realised that I can do that are completely under my control, so I just want to quickly talk about those. I think it's important to understand that we're emotional animals, and we're social animals, you know, when we're faced with what's happening with global warming and we see how quickly things are changing and we don't know whether, what the future holds and how quickly the tipping point's going to arrive, we often experience despair. And that leads to inaction. The antidote to despair is action. But we often feel, well, what can I do? You know, I'm just one person out of 7.5 billion people. The government's on completely the wrong planet. I'm helpless. Well, there are two things that we can do, which are completely under our control. One is what we put in our mouth, and the other is what we do with our money if we're fortunate enough to have any money. If you're employed, then every pay, a certain 9% of your wage is going into superannuation, and that superannuation is being invested somewhere. And as someone concerned about the future of the planet, the future of all life on the planet, we have to be thinking about, well, what is my superannuation fund investing in? And are they investing in fossil fuels? Are they investing in intensive animal agriculture? So we can find out from our investment, our superannuation fund, and the same goes. Touch my microphone. The same goes for the bank. If we happen to have money in the bank or in term deposits, or if we have money in shares. Then we can direct where our money is invested, and money talks, as we know. So it's a very, very powerful thing to do, and we have complete control over it. We don't have to convince anybody else. We can just take that action. It's the same with what we put in our mouth. As you probably know, animal agriculture contributes 15%. This is the minimum figure. This is the official minimum figure, 15% of global warming, which is more than transport, which contributes 14% of global warming worldwide. So one thing we can do is reduce the amount of meat and dairy that goes into our mouth. And every time we do that, we're making a contribution to reducing global warming. Cattle and sheep are the biggest contributors in the animal agriculture area because of the amount of methane that they produce. So these two things are completely under our control. It's a bit like, oh, well, one person, you might say, well, one person's not going to change the world, but that's the excuse that the Liberal government's been using for the last, umpteen years for Australia not to do anything. If we all do nothing, nothing will happen. These steps are at least steps that we have complete control over. So, I urge you to think about what you can do in terms of reducing your meat consumption, reducing your dairy consumption, and what you're going to do with your money if you're lucky enough to have any. Thanks.